Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Pramji. Welcome back to a brand new video. What for you guys today is my monthly manga reading log for the month of September. Now, first things first, I just want to apologize real fast for the lack of videos throughout September. Of course, I was really busy. I believe the last video that I uploaded before this one was my haul and reading log from last month. So, yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot of activity on my end, but I just got done with a bunch of exams and other stressful stuff, so now I have some time to sit down and actually record some videos just like I always love to do. And today I'm going to be talking about all the manga that I read over the month of September, so hopefully you guys do enjoy this video. If you guys do, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. Now, I actually put out a poll on my Instagram a month ago because my last reading log did really poorly for whatever reason, and it turned out that 50% of you guys didn't actually get the sub notification in your sub box or even knew that the video existed. So make sure to leave this video a like, just help it in the algorithm, and we'll see if there's any change. But with all that being said, without any further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, so the first volume of manga that I read this month may be a little bit surprising to you guys, given that I only read one single volume from this series, which is one of my favorites of all time. That is One Piece. This month I only read volume 63. You know, usually I'd have like a handful of volumes of One Piece to show off in my manga reading logs every single month. But this month, I just didn't really find time to read One Piece given the other series that I was reading at the time. Also, given the fact that I think that this Fishman Island arc is a little bit more boring or uneventful than some of the past arcs that I really enjoyed, like Sabati, Impelled Down, and the Paramount War arc. I mean, those ones were just so action-packed and full of really interesting content, and this one seems to be a little bit lacking in those areas. Not to say that's bad by any means, but I'm just going at a slower pace for this arc than I had in the past. This coming month, I'm at the very least going to try to finish this arc so I can get on to the Wano arc, which I've heard is absolutely spectacular from my friends and people online. So yeah, not that I'm not enjoying Fishman Island, but I'm definitely excited for what's to come more than I am enjoying what I'm reading right now. The next volume that I read this month is the first volume of a brand new series that I've been looking to try out for a very long time, but finally found the first volume at one of my used stores. That is volume 1 of Made in Abyss. Now, I'm sure that by me saying that I've started Made in Abyss will cause some mixed reactions for you guys watching the video. Some people absolutely love this series, and some people just really despise it, whether it be for the story or some of the artist's choices when making this manga. I won't go too into it, but yeah, it's definitely a little bit controversial. But as for my opinion of this first volume right here, I can honestly say I am very impressed by what I've read so far. Yes, there are some weird things that the artist or the manga throws into this first volume that are a little bit in your face and kind of uncomfortable, but overall the story and the atmosphere and just the overall charm of this manga is really apparent, and I can honestly see why so many people enjoy this manga as much as they do. One thing I'm really enjoying about this series so far is how all of the pages kind of have this gray over them, and the paneling is sketch-like. Hopefully you guys can see it all right, but it just adds kind of that atmospheric darkness to the overall theme of the story, alongside the very interesting history of this abyss and the strange creatures and technology. I mean, this seems like a very creative series, and that's something I really admire in a manga series. The next series that I've been reading this month is a series that I picked up all of last month, and I finally got around to reading it. That is, of course, Crying Freeman. Now, this month I read volumes 1 and 2, I believe. I have volume 1 here in my hands. I forgot to bring volume 2 from my apartment to my home for the video. But yeah, I read the first 2 volumes, and overall, I can say this is a very enjoyable series so far. And I mean, you could throw basically any manga at me with gangs, drugs, violence, and I will surely enjoy it, and such is the case for Crying Freeman so far. It has some unique twists with the character of Freeman. He has a very tragic backstory, I'd say. Now, I probably could have finished this entire series this month, being only like 5 to 7 volumes long, but this next series I'm going to talk about is the main focus for me this month that I read and completed all that I had of it. But yeah, hopefully going to finish all of Crying Freeman this coming month, as I've really been enjoying it. Alright, so the next manga series that I've been reading this month was the main focus of my attention when it came to manga this month, and maybe my personal priorities. Maybe I skipped studying a few times to read this series, but that's besides the point. This month I read volumes 24 through 34 of Hunter x Hunter. As you guys know, Hunter x Hunter is my favorite anime of all time, and I decided to start reading the manga last month, I believe, is when I started it, and I finally caught up to date with what I have. I know there's still 2 volumes, 35 and 36, that are out in physical print that I just have yet to get to. But yeah, I finished all I had of this series, and I can honestly say I'm really glad I started reading the manga. Of course, this month I finished the Chimera Ant arc, which was absolutely spectacular. No surprise, it was my favorite arcs from the anime, and I really enjoyed seeing it all over again in the manga. And I also got to start on the Dark Continent arc, which is something that is completely new to me. And though there are a lot of moving pieces and it's honestly very confusing, I was kind of lost at certain points, there are a lot of really cool things going on, new characters introduced, and existing characters that have more interesting roles in the story than I thought they ever would. And also, this volume right here with the Chrollo and Hisoka fight that people have been telling me was absolutely crazy, and I finally get to experience it. And I can honestly say that my expectations were absolutely blown out of the water. Just the amount of big brain thinking and strategy that went on in this fight. It was more than just brute strength. It was honestly like a dance between the two characters. That sounds kind of cliche, but that's honestly what I think. And yeah, the ending of this fight definitely blew me away, and I'm very excited to see what goes on with these characters going forward. I'm sorry if that felt like I just kind of rambled on a bit about Hunter x Hunter, but I'm absolutely in love with this series. Again, so glad that I started reading the manga and didn't just stick with the anime and call it quits, because this new content that I'm finally getting into is very interesting, and again, I'm very excited to see how it goes going forward. The next series that I started reading this month is another brand new series like Made in Abyss. I finally got the volumes for this series, and I could finally start reading it after having many people tell me this is one of their favorite series of all time. And when I unboxed these volumes in my most recent manga haul unboxing, I was honestly blown away by the amount of people who said they absolutely loved this series. So that definitely motivated me to give it a try for myself. But of course, I'm talking about Land of the Lustrous. This month I read volume 1. Now, some people did say that the series starts off a little bit slow, and judging off this first volume, I can definitely see where they're coming from. It's a little bit more episodic, and I'm hoping that in the coming volumes, you know, the pace will start picking up and there'll be more of a plot to follow rather than just some short chapters that seem really episodic. But other than that, I'm really enjoying this series so far. Based off this first volume, obviously the artwork is absolutely spectacular. Again, super unique artwork, and just plot is something that I really look forward to in a manga such as this. I plan on reading the second and third volumes of this series while I'm here at my parents' house over the weekend, and I can record a first impression manga review video like I planned on doing. So hopefully that plan will come to fruition. I can put out that video very soon. But yeah, I'm really excited to get into more of this series, as I really did enjoy this first very unique volume. And finally, the last volume that I read this month is not a manga, but rather a light novel. As you could probably guess, I'm talking about Classroom of the Elite. This month I read volume 4.5. Now, for those of you who are wondering why this says 4.5 and not like volume 5, from what I've gathered, these decimal places, or like these half volumes, kind of serve as transition volumes with a little bit more character building and relationship building, whereas this one is in between the summer and the next semester. So they kind of throw in, you know, their final days or their final week of summer, and honestly, there's some pretty good content in this. While it wasn't necessarily the most thrilling volume of this light novel that I've read so far, it was still very interesting. As you can see, some relationships building and some things brewing that will definitely come into play later on in the series. And from what I've heard, this light novel series only gets better and better, approaching the 7 volume mark. I'm almost there, and I'm really excited to get to that point because I've heard it's just absolutely stupendous. Honestly, I cannot say enough good things about this series. I would probably give it a 10 out of 10 based on where I'm at right now. And if you guys know me, I don't give out 10 out of 10s too willy-nilly. So when I say that, I definitely mean this is something you should definitely check out. Anyways, guys, that is everything that I read over the month of September. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Seeing everything that I read, I would highly recommend everything I talked about today in this video. All bangers. Nothing but quality in this video. So if you guys do check out some of these series if you're interested in them. And if you did enjoy the video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. So yeah, this has been the Prom G. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And as always, hope to catch you in the next one.